this way, that's one of his hens. They do that little whistle. And they got him gobbling right over here the other morning. But we're up here, in behind some fields, to a farm that's on the next property.
There's a hen.
That's a hen roosting right there. Every day they've been there. Hopefully we can catch a gobbler coming in. But he's been calling them over one side or the other. We're going to go down here to set up, put my hen decoy, Henrietta, out in the road and see if we can just get one within eyesight. We haven't heard any gobbles here this morning, but it's still early and she's liable to stir something up. Watching outdoors for those.
Stubby's outdoors.
Hey, it's next to the last day. Tomorrow's the last day. We gotta get it done.
Stick with us.
Crunch time. Do your job.
Now, I'd like to take a moment to point out Stubby's professionalism. I didn't realize what he was doing. It looked to me like he was concentrating on the hunt. What he was doing was fighting off a stomach cramp, and the stomach cramp was about to win.
We're going to pull those stakes and do a little moving. We had one coming. Well, not coming, gobbling anyway, this morning down here in this, on the other side of this little swag. Same spot I worked a bird the other morning. Might have been the same bird. He was fired up. I think he wanted to come in. But we had to take a bathroom break.
This guy.
Old Stubby had to go 10-20.
Nature.
10-200.
Nature called on that one.
He had to go 10-200. So I'm sitting here waiting on him. And that turkey's gobbling. I mean, he gobbled 2-3 times, then he gobbled 3 times in a row by himself. He's like, where y'all at? Where y'all at? And Stubby's up there in the bathroom.
Stuff happens, man.
And I'm down here just like, man, I wish I could call. But as soon as I start calling, that bird's coming, and he's going to be coming back over the hill. So we had to just eat it on that one. So we're going to pick up, and we're going to move out just a little bit. Direction right there. And if we don't have any luck, we'll try to strike this bird on the way back through. Hopefully 9:30, maybe he'll be ready to talk to us a little bit. And
Squirrel right there.
yeah. This episode brought to you by Pepto-Bismol.
Hey, it happens.
It absolutely. Well, last time was together, I had to go 3 times. I got dehydrated and sick, and we was on this property, but 2 ridges over.
And I'm exhausted. I'm laying flat down on the forest floor, catching my breath. Whew. You're watching Outdoors with Og. This might be the last one.
Anyway, we're gonna go out here and see if we can strike one up, get them gobbled.
What time is it?
I don't even know now.
It's 8:04.
8:04.
So we still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Round 2 will be coming later on. Hopefully we'll get some of these gobbling. There's a lot of hens.
I think they've been turning on a lot later in the morning too.
And then, like I said, there's a lot of hens here. I've never heard so many hens in any place in my life. So they got to get, deal with them first, I reckon. Then it'll be our turn. But stay tuned. You're watching Outdoors with us.
Stubby's Outdoors. Stick with us.
Quack, quack, quack.
Now, it sure didn't take long to get into some more action. We went up the road 50 yards, hit the box call, and gobble, 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 gobble. The only problem was we couldn't figure out which direction it came from. It looked something like this. Stubby thought it came from our right. I thought it came from our left. We had to make a decision. So we plopped down facing toward the fields, and we never saw the gobbler that was right behind us. But boy, did this hen put on a show going over to him.
She not see me.
The leafy suits, man. I'm telling you, the leafy suits make a huge difference. Breaking up the outline. I mean, even that coyote, it stood there and looked at me way longer than a coyote should stand there and look at you.
Well, there's 2 gobblers.
Should I try to call to this one?
Maybe and see where he's at. I think that double call we did got her attention.
Well, we got her fired up, and he went over to her, or was already with her.
Yeah.
He might have already been with her. But he didn't. He fired off to that daggone box call.
We didn't make it far. 50 yards.
That goes to show you, folks. 50 yards, no more than that. Possibly less. And we were calling, we were actually playing around, trying these different slate calls, trying to double call, making racket. We even talked about how, I even joked and said we probably spooked every bird in the county. And Stubby's like, nah, I don't think it bothered him, and I agree with him too. I feel like they call all the time, and they're used to it. And even though we were yak, and we had that hen fired up down there, you'll see video of that. We had her going, we worked her. And she either had him with her or brought him to the party. Either way, when he gobbled, this other one gobbled. I think it may have been at the same time, because that's the one I heard. But 50 yards made that much difference. 50 yards, and they gobbled.
Just a few minutes later, after doing some soft calling, trying to get that gobbler to come back up our way, here come hen number 2. Now this hen had come up from our left, circled all the way behind Stubby at about 15 yards, circled over around behind me, clucking the whole way, and then she finally got up there and saw old Henrietta. And well, I don't think she liked the competition.
Ooh.
Man, it's a hot one today.
Woo! Warm out today. Warm out yesterday too. Good God. Well, what we do this morning, man?
Man, we got on some birds, heard some gobbles.
No. Scratch that. Some birds got on us.
Yeah.
They got on us today, didn't
They got on us, yeah.
But, man, what action for next to the last day of the season. You think things are winding down and a lot of folks giving up. Had hens roosted around us. And we had one early. And as you'll see, we had a little bit of an interruption.
Yeah.
Is that what he called it? Or a stomach cramp?
It was a stomach cramp for sure.
So as you'll see, Stubby was up in the porta potty up there on the hill, and the gobbler was just gobbling. But I couldn't call because I had to wait for him to get back. So when he got back, I don't think, did he ever gobble again after you sit down? I don't think so.
No.
He gobbled when you was on your way back. But then he moved on out. So we went 50 yards, 50 or less. Hit the box call. And here's how it went. You point the way you heard it. So we've argued about that ever since, because I trusted his younger ears. So we set up facing that way. And sure enough, a hen came in on top of us, and we had a blast with her. But she went straight to the gobbler that was behind us. So I don't know if there were two, but there was certainly one. But anyway, that wasn't the only one we heard. We heard another one at that time, and we went out and we couldn't strike him again. So it's been a fun season.
Fun, yeah.
I've had an absolute blast, man.
It's been long. It's been a long season.
What I've noticed for me, I've become a better hunter from last year, leaps and bounds. Things started to come together for me. Just knowing when to do what. I still got miles to go in learning, but it really was a night and day difference from what I went through last year. And I have enjoyed every second of it, and I'm sad that it's coming to an end.
Well, every time you're out in the woods, you're learning.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 20 years. You step foot out in the woods, you're learning something.
Absolutely. And these birds, buddy, they teach hard lessons.
Yes, they do. Hard lessons. I've had it happen to me all year.
Yeah, man.
Lesson after lesson.
What did you learn this year? What was the big one that got you? What was your biggest mistake?
One of my biggest mistakes is probably calling too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something I've been working on too.
It's got me. It's got me at least once this year. And then so I started backing off a lot, calling more lightly, and it's helped.
Once you get them, once you locate them, and once you get them fired up or talking to you, it's amazing how softly you can call and they hear it and respond. My biggest mistake probably, I was working a bird over here last week, and I had him hammering to me, and I was just barely with a mouth call, and he'd hear me, and he'd come, and I thought he hung up. So I had watched a video on YouTube that said if you had a gobbler hung up, maybe try a Jake yelp or a gobbler yelp, and I did that, and he stopped, and then he gobbled 3 times really hard, and then gobbled 5 or 6 more times leaving the area. So whatever he heard, he thought it was something down there going to whoop his butt. And that was probably my biggest mistake, is just to not try to get fancy, right? To just keep it basic, keep it simple, and let that bird come looking for you.
Another thing I learned is those hens, once they get fired up, they don't shut up, man.
Buddy.
They just keep going, yelping, clucking, purring, yelp, cluck, purr.
So that gives you some comfort that you're really, if you're out there calling, you ain't hurting nothing.
No, as long as you're not calling too loud.
Not as long as you ain't too loud, as long as you sound realistic, somewhat realistic. They're used to hearing it all day.
Yep.
Because we had 3, like I said, they didn't shut up today. So that was a definite lesson for me. I heard vocalizations this year that I hadn't heard before, such as whistles and purring and clucks. I heard gobbler yelps. I heard a gobbler fight. Got all that on video, or at least audio. So it's been a huge learning experience for me.
It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna hit it again tomorrow. I'm sure he's probably going to go somewhere tomorrow too.
Be right here.
And try to get one in on that last day, that
Yep.
last push.
Try and squeeze it out, man. Dude, it's been a blast.
It's been fun, man.
And if we don't do no fishing or nothing, we'll definitely get together for bow season.
Absolutely.
Right on, man. Outdoors with O.
Stubby's Outdoors.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, baby, crying mama, no food for me.
Just want to take a second to give a huge thank you and a shout out to the property owners and the management company that made this property outstanding. West Virginia Land Group has a philosophy of select cutting with wildlife management in mind. Other people talk about land management. We do it at West Virginia Land Group, working hand in hand with Kanawha Forestry to maximize the resources for both the property owner and the wildlife habitat. And for you outdoor enthusiasts, if you want to get involved and enjoy some of these awesome properties, be sure and contact Vidalia Trails. And for any West Virginia landowners that want to get involved and maximize both your property and your income, contact West Virginia Land Hub, a one-stop shop for West Virginia landowners looking to make land income, improve their land, and manage their forest better. Our land agents, foresters, and land professionals have been helping West Virginia landowners achieve better land and forest goals and outcomes for nearly 30 years now. Our land group and organizations continue to add new land services, platforms, and marketplaces for landowners in the expanding land management, land leasing, timber sales and management, and land sales market throughout West Virginia.
Used to owe it to the company store.